Hello, my name is James Curtis. This is for Module 8 for SPCE 689. And the article I chose was the evaluation of broad skill repertoire changes over 3 months of peak implementation in a special education classroom. So to answer off the first prompt, to summarize it, I think the abstract does a really good job focusing on the purpose, and I'll add a little more detail about the methodology and main ideas presented. So PEAK, is also known as the Promoting of Emergence of Advanced Knowledge, relational training system, and it provides comprehension language and cognition training strategy for children with disabilities. In this study, they used PEAK in a special education classroom with 5 students over a 3-month period. And then the cognitive and language skills were assessed using the PEAKS Comprehensive Assessment, also known as a PCA. On average, of each of the 5 participants mastered 11.2 target programs across the PEAK modules, with an average of 186 new verbal behaviors or supporting behaviors. All of the participants, of all of the 5 participants, have shown an increase on the PCA. And then, so that's just like a little bit of it. So obviously the purpose is just to see if they can find effectiveness between the PEAK system with children with disability and cognitive training and comprehensive language. And obviously with these results, it looks like all participants have shown. It's a small sample size of 5. Like I said, I feel like this does a good job explaining the purpose, but I do want to spend some more time on the method and results. So for more context, the PEAK trials were ran in a classroom in one of 3 rooms away from other participants, so they wouldn't be able to watch them do the skill and learn that way. Either in a separate room or a room separated by a room divider. The PEAK sessions were administrated on average 3 times per day over the course of 3 months, with an average training dosage of 1.5 per day. So that's just a little more about the method. It's definitely I don't want to say more on the intrusive side, but it's definitely time consuming, I would say. Like if we were to replicate this study, I don't think it would cost a lot, but it would cost a lot in time and resources, as we would have to train people to administrate PEAK while also have the time and resources to implement the PEAK strategy for 3 months. The results did show a high social validity score as they supported the intervention in promoting language performance as reported by parents and staff relative to prior semesters. So it just kind of shows that, PEAK did improve those language skills, and it wasn't just only in clinic, that the caretakers have also seen an improvement as well. So that's like a really quick just summary of it, of like what the purpose is, to see if PEAK is effective, how they did it, and the findings. For number 2, for my reactions, I just first wanted to pick this because honestly today, I'm a trainer at my clinic. My BCBA was like, hey, like I think I'm going to use PEAK for a client. And I've looked at PEAK, and it's kind of, like almost at piqued my interest, no pun intended, but I'm very familiar with VB Maps, ABLES, AFLS, or Denver, but I'm not super familiar with PEAK. From my understanding, it is more of an academic setting. So I was just really interested in it. So that's kind of the reason I picked this one, just based off the title. And when I read it, I found it super interesting. I think it does show like the importance in verbal behavior and behavior analysis of just like having these assessments, having the time to implement the assessments and work through them. As we see, all 5 participants have shown great skills increase in supporting behaviors or verbal behavior. I definitely think this article will inform my practice, just because, like I said, I'm potentially going to get more hands-on experience with PEAK. So I think this article just gave me a good insight of what to expect. Hopefully the results are going to be similar too, and just learn more about it and how to understand it more. And it didn't really challenge my perspectives. It just did reinforce it, of just, like these assessments do work. A lot of the times they are made with a specific reason of like one builds into two, then three, and so on and so on. So it is like just reinforce that thought that PEAK is a useful assessment from what I've heard. This just helps reinforce that, and it just reinforced my confidence of me, my BCBA, and our RBTs and the whole team that once we just get more familiar with PEAK, we will be able to implement it at a high level for our client and provide great results. So that is my recap. Thank you.